Dead Stripper, Chapter 9, Scene 29. It's almost 8 p.m. when I pull off Lancaster Avenue and start heading up the driveway leading to the Radnor house. I pass the main entrance and pull into a spot just around the bend. I take out my cell phone to make a call, but immediately hear a gentle tapping on the passenger's window. I look. It's dark outside, but just enough light to see Margot's face. She's smiling. I lower the window. Was just going to call you. Waiting long? Just got here, she says, and saw you pulling in. How'd you know it was me? A girlfriend, she says with a flirtatious smile, knows what kind of vehicle her boyfriend drives. Jess told you. And a lot more. Another one of those smiles. You got the advantage on me. Seems like you know a lot more about me than I know about you. Other than you're quite pretty. Flattery, she says, will get you everywhere. Compliments come few and far between these days. Hard to believe. I'll meet you around back. I close the window, exit the envoy, and meet her around back. You're right on time, she says. Out of character for me. How so, she asks. When it comes to anything related to business, I make it a point to be early. But anything social, I don't give a shit when I get there. But in your case, I didn't want to make you wait. Does that mean I'm business? She says. Or does that mean I'm special? Is it my imagination, or is she flirting with me? I smile. Special. Now, changing the subject, I'm flipping coins. About what? She says. No idea if we can pull off this boyfriend and girlfriend business. So I am just business, she says. You took that out of context. If you say so, she smiles. Here's what I was trying to say. Even if we can convince everyone that we're boyfriend and girlfriend, what do you get out of it? What do I get out of it? And what's the point of this whole masquerade? By asking those questions, she says, you already missed the point, which is, what does Jess get out of it, she says. What does she get out of it? In a nutshell, she says, she's pissed at Pablo. That's her boyfriend, right? Right, she says. She's suddenly hot for you and wants to do some comparison shopping. So this is a meat market, with her boyfriend and me hanging on racks, figuratively speaking. Now you got it, she says. How do you feel about that? You know, being an integral part of the plot and all. I think it's hilarious, she says. Jess is my best friend and I love her dearly. But if anyone else asks me to do something this stupid, I'd tell them fuck off. Oh, pardon my French. No problem, I know plenty of French. On the one hand, she says, I refuse to believe this will work the way she thinks it will. Yet, on the other hand, I can't wait to see how it does play out. I mean, my sixth sense tells me it's not going to go smoothly. We'll find out soon enough, but I have a few questions, things I'd know if we were boyfriend and girlfriend. Another smile. Fire away. How do we meet? I called for an Uber one night, she says, and you picked me up, going from my place to the grog. Perfect irony. Indeed, she says. We started talking. You mentioned something about getting ready to quit for the night. I found you attractive, so I suggested quitting right then and there and joining me for a drink. Jess did tell you a lot. Sure did. Another one of those smiles. You quit driving. We stopped for a drink, but you got a lot more than a drink. I'd like to find out more about that. It's my turn to flirt. I'd be disappointed if you didn't, she says. How old are you? Jess and I are both 29, she says. Known each other since kindergarten. We graduated from Phoenixville High, then she went to art school in Philly. What about you? Graduated from Drexel, she says. So, my new girlfriend's a genius. Not your stereotypical blonde, she says. Major? Computer science, she says. You are a genius. Where do you work? Comcast, in Center City, she says. The new building, programming software. Ever been engaged or married? No to both, she says. Do you want to get married? You asking? She stares at me with a straight face, but she can't hold it for long, then chuckles a little. If I meet the right man, sure, who doesn't? And if you don't meet the right man? I'm independent, she says. I enjoy living by myself. What about kids? Like I said, she says. If I meet the right man, sure, kids would be nice. If not, no big deal. Where do you live? I live at the Radcliffe House, right around the corner on Conestoga Road. I know exactly where that is. Looks expensive. A one-bedroom goes for $1,300, she says. I can afford it, but hate paying that much for rent. Don't get me wrong. My unit's nice. But I'm thinking about buying a condo in Center City when the lease runs out. Where do you live? Clifton Heights. She doesn't react. Don't know where that is, do you? Heard of it, she says. Other side of the tracks from you mainliners. She laughs. I'm from Phoenixville, remember? Oh, yeah, almost forgot. My turn, she says. Still need to know more about you. Shoot. Let's take a walk. She starts leading the way. Jess told me you're some sort of writer. Aspiring writer. Wrote a bunch of stories, but unfortunately, nothing published so far. What do you write about, she asks. Mystery stories. I like mysteries, she says. Are they sexy mysteries? And she smiles. Not really. The magazines I'm trying for are G-rated. Too bad, she says. I enjoy graphic sex. Another smile. We reach the entrance and the glass doors open automatically. We enter. A uniformed doorman steps up. Good evening, Miss Margo, he says. Miss Jessica told me to expect you. Good evening, Fritz, Margo says. And your gentleman companion? He looks at me. His name's Steve, she says. Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Steve. The doorman smiles. Steve, Margo says, meet Fritz. My pleasure, Fritz, and we shake hands. Margo leads the way across the lobby. When we reach the elevator, she presses the button. How old are you? Be 34 on my next birthday. Ever been engaged or married, she asks. No. Do you want to, she asks. You asking? I smile. The elevator arrives. When the door opens, we step aboard. Nice twist. She presses the button for our floor. I'm normal, but for now, becoming a published writer is everything. That's the cake. Marriage and kids are the icing. Good luck, she says, and I'm serious. Thanks. Do we need some sort of signal or password? For what, she asks. In case our charade bombs and we have to haul ass. Ah, she says. A code word. Sure, why not? Any suggestions? Just saw a rerun of Frasier last week, she says. Rosie Perez was a guest star. You're familiar with the show, right? Watched it with my mother all the time. Well, she says, she was Frasier's blind date. Roz set it up and gave them both code words, in case one didn't like the other one. What were the code words? Rosie's was super, she says, and Frasier's was enchanté. Let's go with enchanté. Okay with me, she says. A bell rings when the elevator reaches our floor. This is for good luck. I give her a quick kiss on the lips and catch her by surprise. So much so, she's still staring at me when the elevator door opens. Same to you. But the look on her face tells me she's confused. Like she's trying to figure out if the kiss meant anything or not. Which way? Turn left, she says. Last unit on the right. I step off the elevator and wait for her. Then we turn left and start walking. Do you think we should hold hands? She asks. So, that's it for chapter 9. Look, I promise I'll shave before next time. And next time we'll have chapter 10.